Hello Phil, and thanks very much for spending some time with BlueNotes again. ANZ delivered a well-received result last Friday, some very strong performances, but Australia was one of the strongest performances. Market share gains. Is it a sustainable result from Australia?
Oh, we think so. Look, it's really the same strategy we've been running for years now, and we're in our 5th year of market share gains in the home loan market, strong customer satisfaction, improving customer complaint levels. All of the things that we've been trying to do to get our business working right are starting to come to fruition, and I think we've got a fair amount of time ahead of us when we can continue these sorts of gains.
And where does that customer satisfaction figure fit into the puzzle? I mean, obviously it's nice to have, you want to have satisfied customers, but from a business sense, what?
Look, it is more part of that overall picture. We want to have customers who want to do business with us. We want customers who find it easier to deal with us than with other banks and other financial services houses. One of the measures we have is customer satisfaction, and it's been one that has grown well for us. We're, I think, at number 2 in the industry now. But I would say all banks have improved, so it's not something where you can rest on your laurels. We've got to keep working at what are the underlying drivers, and it's really the focus that it gives people on fixing processes that are cumbersome, on fixing where we have errors in the work we do. If we can get one by one to fix up all these issues so that customers don't have problems, then yes, it'll show up as customer sat, but more importantly, it'll show up by customers actually wanting to do more business with us, and that's what the real objective of all this is.
And one of the other elements to the ANZ business in Australia is that ANZ is a business bank. It's
Yes.
growing market share in retail, but it's obviously a business bank. Mike said in his address that he's been predicting a recovery in the business sector now for quite a few years, and he's going to be right at some point. How close is he to being right with the business sector recovery?
Oh, this is one of the great frustrations for us. I think last year a lot of people were telling us that once the election was over, we'd start to see a lot more business investment. This year we went through the conversation being around once the budget issues settled down. We know that the business sector is lowly geared, so they can borrow more. We know that they have a lot of ideas. We talk to our customers, they've got a lot of investment plans, but it's that confidence, that willingness to go out and take the plunge and make the investment has been weak. Now, we saw a few signs of it over May, June, July, but then it slowed down again. We know that the customers are there, we know that they've got ideas, but I think what they're looking for is for that whole global economy, the political environment to settle down enough so that they can make that commitment. So we think it's happening. We're pretty confident that we're going to see it in 2015. But as Mike said, it's something we've been waiting for a long time.
We could expect something in 2015?
Yeah, small business is doing well. It's really that medium-sized business where we're not seeing the growth come from. Small business is working okay. There's some signs of activity at the top end of town. We're just trying to get that middle market, that middle strata of businesses to get their confidence up so that they can embark on the investments that we think that they've got ready to go.
And one of the things that's supported bank earnings over the last 5 or 6 years has been an incredibly benign credit cycle, not a lot of bad and doubtful debts. Now we've got worries about whether there's a housing bubble, whether some of the small business sector is under pressure, obviously coal miners with coal prices.
Yep.
Are you seeing any stresses there in the business?
Look, nothing that's coming to the fore yet. And obviously in any economy, even when it's stable and growing, there are some sectors that do better than others and some that are in decline. But really it's a pretty benign environment. There's no real issues. Last year everyone was talking about mining and mining services companies, and there were 1 or 2 issues, but they were quite isolated. Now there's this focus on some of the miners themselves and whether or not the commodity prices have got too low a level. All I can say is that as yet really hasn't shown up as anything to have any concern about, and the household sector has continued to improve. It's been a very good environment.